snack. Me and you gonna have a little chat about books. Hi guys! So it is the last day of January and I don't think I'm going to get any more books read today, so I am going to be doing my January wrap-up. Let's get started. So the first book that I ended up reading in January was The Elite, which is by Kiera Cass. I actually really enjoyed this. I rated it a 5 out of 5 stars and I really thought it was a really excellent read. If you like YA, I would definitely recommend checking out this series, The Selection and The Elite, because I am loving it so far, and this book in particular had me up at 3 a.m. in the morning going, what will happen next, what will happen next? So it was amazing and I would definitely recommend this. The next book that I ended up reading was The Dark Tower, the Gunslinger, book 1, which is by Stephen King. I, again, enjoyed this quite a lot, but it was a little bit iffy. I've been told since that if I continue on with the series, then it gets a lot better, and I definitely want to continue on with the series because I already owned the next 3 in the series. I purchased this as part of a box set, which was really cheap in a charity shop, so I know that people have been saying it gets really, really interesting, and I definitely want to continue on with this. I ended up giving this 3 out of 5 stars. It is a good read, it's just a little confusing because you don't know where it's going yet, and it's definitely setting up for the next books, but I am definitely intrigued about what will happen and I will definitely be carrying on with this series soon. The next book that I finished was Changeling by Philippa Gregory. I had this on audiobook from the work and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really well narrated and I thought the story was excellent. I thought it was just a really good start to a series and I definitely want to continue on with this series as well. I ended up giving it a 4 out of 5 star rating, so definitely this is worth reading. It's historical fiction and it's really enjoyable and I enjoyed it a lot. The next book that I ended up reading was a self-published work by Stuart Wilson, and that was Kyle vs. Layla, Battle of the Cyberdomes, which I really enjoyed. I thought it was a good read, fast-paced, and kind of like in the same realms as Percy Jackson and Harry Potter, that sort of age group. Children's YA fiction, and it's just really enjoyable, so definitely worth checking out. I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. Then I ended up reading probably my favourite book of the month, and the biggest book of the month. No, it's not even the biggest. The almost biggest book of the month, which was The Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson. I have raved about this in a really long review, so go check that out if you haven't already. I give this 5 out of 5 stars. I am so excited for the next one, which is coming out in March, and I just cannot wait. So definitely fans of Brandon Sanderson and high fantasy, go and check this out. It is amazing. The next book that I ended up reading was The Darkest Minds by Alexandra Bracken, and I really enjoyed this. I read it as a co-read with my friend Kristen and we both really liked it. I ended up giving it a 5 out of 5 stars and I'm definitely excited to get on to Never Fade and In Time very, very soon, so look out for those reviews when they come out as well. The next 3 that I ended up reading were the Chaos Walking novellas. These books I actually really enjoyed, but they're really short. They're like 30 or so pages, so they're just an addition to the series, which I didn't know about and wanted to check out, and so I did because they're free online. The first one is The New World, which I ended up giving 4 stars. The second one, The Wide Wide Sea, I also gave 4 stars. And finally, the third one, Snowscape, I ended up giving 3 out of 5 stars. Next, I ended up reading Firstborn, which is by Brandon Sanderson. This is a novella. This is just a short story which is published on Tor.com, but you can buy it off Amazon, which is what I did, really cheap. And it's just a sort of sci-fi tale, which is really interesting. I loved it. I love everything he writes, and I thought it was definitely worth reading. For the price, it was like 60p or something so incredibly cheap that it was just definitely worth every penny of it. And I ended up giving it 4 out of 5 stars just because it was not long enough and I would have loved it to be an entire book. The next book that I ended up reading was Unaddressed in Blood by Kendall Blake, and I really enjoyed this as well. This was kind of an impulse pick up and read, and I just really loved it. I thought it was an excellent story about kind of ghost hunting and the value of friendship, and YA focus, and it was just really wonderful. So I ended up giving this 4 out of 5 stars, and I would highly recommend it to anyone who likes YA. I already own the second one, Girl of Nightmares, and I will definitely be reading that very soon. And the final book that I ended up reading in January was The Bookman Histories by Lavi Tidhar. This was a whopping 1022 pages long, so I ended up reading 2 amazingly long books in January, and yeah, I liked this one, but it was okay. It wasn't excellent. I ended up giving it 2.5 stars, and I would recommend it to people who like literary referencing in books, because this definitely has that, and people who are really into steampunk but want something a little bit more out there and wacky. So that would be this. So I actually managed to finish 12 books in the month of January, despite being incredibly busy at university. I definitely want to try and do a bit more reading next month, because even though I did read a lot, I didn't feel like I was reading that much. I felt like it was quite minimal. Hopefully next month it won't be as busy and I can just knuckle down and read some really good books, because I want to have a really good month in February, and it's quite a short month as well. So that's all for now. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye! Me and you